Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome back to the Chase Life with Kelly podcast. I am your host, Kelly Chase. Sorry, we skipped a week, but we are back. We are going strong. Okay, this is going to be a really short episode, but I want to share with you some mantras, quotes, sayings that I have written on sticky notes or some other type of paper that literally have been in my forefront, literally on my desk right next to me every single day, and have been guiding me and leading me into becoming the person that I desire to become, and also presencing me into the person that I currently am and being so grateful, reminding me that the current version of me is exactly who I'm supposed to be right now. And so I'm grateful, and it presences me and gets rid of like fear and lack and anxiety. And I can be excited for what is to unfold before me. Okay, so I think this is extremely helpful. When you have affirmations around you, you have things that, you just look at and you're like, oh, wow, like I needed that today, right? So that's the power of affirmations. It really is. Just having really affirming words, phrases, mantras, quotes, all the things near you, around you, in your visibility on a very frequent basis, because otherwise you are clouded by your own inner thoughts, but projections from other people, whether that is through social media or your parents, family, friends, people that you work with. You're constantly being hit with negative emotions or negative thoughts or limiting beliefs, fears, doubts, worries from the outside world. And it's like you have to create this bubble for yourself in order to protect yourself from that energy and emotions and thoughts coming into you, right? How you can do that, you have to start crowding out with more positive affirmations, positive thoughts, more, abundant based thoughts. Because the more that you think that way, the more you will become the person that you desire, the more opportunities will flow into you, because you'll be vibrating at a different frequency, a higher frequency, where your dreams and desires reside right now. Everything in your current reality, though, you dreamed of. And you could also say, Kelly, that's not true. I didn't dream to have this challenging time ahead of me. But have you ever seen, like, I prayed for this, but I got this instead. I prayed for this and then I got this. And it was always the challenges. Like I prayed for, financial freedom, but I got bankrupt, but my business went bankrupt or I lost my job. And you have to think about those things like, okay, yeah, that doesn't track. However, it does, because you have to go through those challenges and those hard times in order to become that's like the trial, right? That we have to go through, that God universe is putting us through, is like you have to do the walk, right? You got to do the work. You got to get right with yourself and become an energetic match and an energetic, vibrational match to what you are desiring. Like, again, you may listen to that and be like, oh, that's kind of weird, but it's true. Okay. I listen to a lot of manifestation, law of attraction, law of vibration stuff. I've been studying it for years. And I promise, the higher your vibrational frequency, things just start flowing into you. The more that you surrender, the more that you just allow yourself to receive from a place of gratitude and abundance, the more it will come in. So I want to share some of these things that I have written down for you. First and foremost, and again, literally, like if you're on YouTube watching this, I'm not just reading, like, well, I am going to read these, but I just want to show you, like, I legit have sticky notes and paper, and it's just over here most of the time. I have it literally just like pinned to my desk because I do need those reminders. I even have the diagram of the subconscious and conscious mind and how the body, the thoughts, feelings, actions all work together, and like why we feel a certain way. When you go through my coaching programs, we dive into this model. But basically, I'll explain it real quick. But you have your conscious mind. If you can imagine, let's close your eyes for a second. You don't even have to close your eyes. But if you can imagine a circle and then it's split in half, there's a top level, there's a bottom level, and then there's a stick person with a little body. Okay, so the top part of that circle is the conscious mind. There's a negative and a positive up there. The subconscious mind is in the lower half of that circle. Why do I have a negative and positive? Negative thoughts come in through the conscious mind. The conscious mind has the ability to accept or reject a thought. When it does, let's say it accepts a negative thought, then that negative thought goes into the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind only has the ability to accept a thought. Only accept. That is why they say when you are between the ages of like 0 and 7 or 0 and 9, your conscious mind has not formed yet. It's only your subconscious at that time. So when they say kids soak things up like a sponge, that is exactly why. They're soaking it up like a sponge because they don't have the ability to accept or reject a thought. They hear from their mom, good job, you're so beautiful, you're so sweet, good girl, like good boy, whatever. And then later on, so they think, or maybe it's the negative of like, why'd you do that? You're such a little shit, you're a terrible little boy. Like boys don't cry and girls need to have better manners and blah blah blah. I don't know. And it's just coming from like a really critical standpoint. Well, that affects the rest of your life. And so when they say teenagers are a pain in the ass, that's probably a lot that has to do with it, because now their conscious has formed and they can accept or reject a thought. So when the parent or caregiver says, what is wrong with you? They're triggered because they're like, wait a second, you have told me my whole life, like I'm an angel baby. And now I did something and you are completely saying the opposite. And I'm like, reject, reject, reject. Or your subconscious or your conscious is going to be like, wait, I do accept what is wrong with me. And then your subconscious finds proof until you start doing this inner work and reprogramming the subconscious mind. Your subconscious will continue to find proof that there's something wrong with you, that you're not worthy, that you're not lovable, and all the things. Woo, it's a lot. But anyways, so this is a beautiful diagram to go through. Again, we'll dive deeper into that in another time, but I keep that on my desk because it also helps me to stay present and to be like, okay, Kelly, remember, we want to do positive thinking. We want to have understanding. We want to have faith around things so that our body is at ease and we are expanding versus going through like anxiety and suppression and dis-ease within the body. Okay, next one up that I have is I wrote down, I know that we've been talking a little bit about like business stuff, and y'all, I'm so biased because I see the potential of so many people in like the potential of this business, okay, this coaching industry. And again, sometimes the word coach like triggers people because they're like, everybody can be a coach nowadays. And it's like, yeah, they can. Granted, really good coaches and consultants, strategists, mentors, whatever, are going to get, various certifications. They're going to go through different programs. I mean, I've been a student of this work since 2018. So with all that being said, a lot of credentials in this, but okay. So there are women out there that make $1 million in a day. Yeah, you heard that right. $1 million in one day. I know these people personally. Okay. So surround yourself in rooms with those types of people because they have a strategy, they have a system in place, they know what they're doing. And I'm not saying it because money is everything, because money is not everything. Money does not buy happiness, but money can buy experiences that create memories of happiness, right? So I want you all to live your best life and stop, sitting there and thinking for me. And granted, guys, I go through things like, the other day I was like in a chaotic spiral. Like I knew that I needed sleep, but I made a really big investment the other day, and I also like cleaned a lot of stuff out of my house. So it was like a really, really big energetic shift. This is now in hindsight, I'm like, this is why I was going through what I was going through. And I was on my period. So I was like, oh my gosh, like why? I felt like depressed, super like anxious. I was gonna say paranoid, but I don't know if it was paranoia, but just like super anxious and frustrated and angry, like all the like dis-ease kind of emotions were like hitting me. And because I made such a huge investment in myself and like where I'm going, who I'm becoming, and who I've become to have made that decision to make a big investment in myself, that I was like, this is like, I'm going through it because my ego's like, no, you're about to step into a really uncomfortable place and that is scary. We're going to hold you back and keep you safe. And so there was a lot of resistance that came up for me. And oh my God, I'm just really glad that I'm through it. But here are ways that you can like some business strategy, okay? High ticket offer, whether that's charging $1,000 to work with someone for 30 days or $1,000 to work with them for 6 months. That is your like money mindset that you gotta like figure out what your value is and, obviously what you want to coach on or what you want to teach people, how you want to help people, what solution can you provide to someone's problem. But that high ticket could also be $50,000 for 6 months, like, or whatever. And that's usually like one-to-one. So like VIP, one-on-one, you're like customized to that person. Then you have group coaching. So it's one-to-many. You have digital course, one-to-many. You create one digital course. You can sell it all. So you could sell that one digital course at a high ticket. You could create digital courses at low tickets. You can do whatever you want, but these are just different avenues for you to make money and help people, obviously. And again, your low ticket offer. So that again could be your digital course. You could also do a group coaching at a low ticket. I mean, it could be like a 5-day program and you could charge $20, right, per person for 5 days. I don't know. The world is your oyster. Another thing is, a podcast. You can start a podcast and just funnel people that way. And then a freebie. A freebie could be your podcast, social media content, a download, a video for them to go watch. Just wanted to share, I just want y'all to start thinking outside the box with what you're doing. Okay. Another one, this was from a video I listened to from Florence Scovel-Shinn. She is the author of The Collection, which is a collection of books. One of them more famously known, I guess, is The Game of Life and How to Play It. Fascinating book. Excuse me, fascinating book. I highly suggest that you read it. Life changer. This one, I am the wealth of God made visible. 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 Listen to it over and over again. I also have affirmations where I just have like monetary amounts. So this one says 20,000 each month with a heart. That's kind of like my little logo stamp. And let's go. The reason why you want to write these things out, I don't know if I've ever heard of Jim Carrey's story, but Jim Carrey wrote a check for himself and then he dated at a certain date. And by that time he received the same, like he received that check for doing, was it Dumb and Dumber? It was like one of his obviously popular video films. But anyways, similar kind of stuff. It's getting you comfortable also with this number because $20,000 to a lot of people is a lot of money, especially in a month. So it's not just $20,000. Like if you were to say, I make $20,000 a year, you might be like, that's not a lot. Maybe a lot to some people, but it may not generally be a lot. But if you're like, I make $20,000 a day, that could be like, what? So it gets you comfortable. So it becomes like, because the person who is making a lot of money, $20,000 might feel more like $200 to that person, right? So it becomes more neutral because money is just energy. So at the end of the day, it is a relationship. We do have to treat it kindly and we have to have a place for it to go and all the things. And we can't be so like, oh my gosh, because that comes from like the lack and all of that. More on that in the Money Magnet course that I have available. Next one, I am creating for the joy of using it as my forum through which I find my alignment and express it. Or am I wanting to create something nice that others will like? The reason I wrote this one down is my friend Samantha Joy. She shared a YouTube video with me and it was an Abraham Hicks video. And that was like in the video, I think the woman that was asking Abraham question was something about like creating their business or creating something that they're really passionate about. And that was the question. And it resonated with her. And so she shared it with me, and definitely resonated with me too. Cause I feel like many of us can get into like our people pleasing, which many of us have deep rooted people pleasing behaviors. And therefore, with the people pleasing, you could be, am I wanting to create something nice that others will like? Are you doing it because you want other people to like it? Or are you doing it from a place of, am I creating for the joy of using it as my forum through which I find my alignment and express it? Are you doing that? Are you aligned with what you're doing? Or are you just doing it because people will like it? You got to think about that. And I have to remind myself these things too. So these are really helpful, like affirmations that I'm reading to myself right now as well. As it is the process through which I discover and demonstrate my alignment, then the audience will find you. As it is the process through which I discover and demonstrate my alignment, then the audience will find you. Create and trust the law of the universe. If you build it, they will come, right? Next one, my purpose is growth. My purpose is growth. Okay, your purpose is growing. I don't remember who I heard this one from. It might have been like Catherine Zankina, the Manifestation Babe, but I know that the next one that I'm going to share is from her. But I really loved this one. My purpose is growth, because you want to be growing. You're like helping others people to grow when you have a business. Like you're obviously like providing them a solution, right? So you are growing them. You're teaching them something. Is this helping? So what you want to ask yourself always is this helping me grow? Yes. Then you're living in purpose. If it's not helping you grow, then no, you're not living in purpose. So take an audit of your life today and ask yourself, is this helping me grow? Is your relationship, your romantic relationship, your friend relationships, your family relationships, your financial relationship, your home life, your environment relationship, your job, your business, are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling stagnant? Are you stagnant in your position at your career? Do you need to change careers? Do you need to change positions? Do you need to like look at things differently, right? So is it helping me grow? Yes. Great. Then you're living in your purpose. Love that one. Okay. The next one. I love this one. I put it on a really big sheet of paper. Every move I make is making me a millionaire. So every move you don't make is taking you further away from this. Do you desire to be a millionaire? Maybe not. Maybe you just desire a $5,000 salary increase. Okay. Well, what are you doing to achieve that $5,000 extra? Right? So every move I make is making me a millionaire. So when you get stuck in your head, like I was at some point last week, if you get stuck in your head, you got to like go ground yourself, put your feet on grass, reconnect, realign, get off social media so you're not like influenced by other people's stuff, and just really freaking center yourself and get focused on what you are wanting. Okay. That is the biggest thing. All right. I loved this too. Last one. We are so busy trying to become that we aren't being. Again, from the beginning of this episode, when I said, you got to be present in who you are and be grateful for the things that you currently are, do, be, and be, do, and have right now. So this goes in a little bit deeper. Be the main character in your life. If you're trying to be the main character in someone else's life, it won't feel good. We are our own person, so be your own star. They should elevate you, not make you, says not make you main character. Yeah. If they really love me, they're letting me be the main character in their story. That's what that's saying. We're all important. So be your own main character and let someone else see you as that main character. Are their lives feeling good in our movie? Again, your purpose is growth. Is this person helping me grow? yes, then it's aligned with your purpose, right? So are their lives feeling good in our movie? There's someone who loves the way you think, talk, laugh, the way you be, as you are right now. So don't change someone to like you. They still won't. And your confidence will dwindle. So Melanie Lair, who has been on this podcast a couple years ago, she had a program called Magic on Legs, and I believe this was all centered around that. Magic on Legs, because you understand your importance to other people. No, excuse me. Because you understand your importance and other people's importance, you see them for how important they are. I'm honored to be a part of your story. Thank you for being a part of mine in my life. I don't see what I wrote. Feels important for knowing you. People want you in their movie, not because you try to please them, but just because. Fall in love with how they feel about themselves around people. You matter, they matter. When anyone calls me, they are calling in the leading role in their movie. Hold space, be grateful. You are the one they're calling, right? So if someone calls you, like, yeah, they may be like the main character, right? But you're a part of their movie. So now you are the main character. Hold that space, hold that energy, right? Know that you're important. Everyone is. And that's it. So just remember to be your own star in your own movie, become who you need to become, do the work, the inner work, create for the joy of using it as your as your forum through which you find your alignment and express it. Every move you make is making you a millionaire. It's getting you closer to the dream, the goal that you want to achieve. I hope that those were helpful. Go back and listen to it over and over again if you need some affirmations, if you need something, right? And again, you are the wealth of God made visible. You are the wealth of God made visible. Let God work through you. Let the universe work through you, whatever you align with in that regard. And go live on purpose. Go grow and help others grow and become their best versions of themselves too. All right, you guys, have a lovely day. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I just wanted to also give a really big shout out to two very important people that listen to this podcast. Because in my chaotic state of mind, they kind of brought me back to earth a little bit and gave me some helpful reminders. So to Marla and to Diamond, you know who you are. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I'm here, and let's keep it rolling. I love you guys, and get out there and chase life with Kelly. All right. Bye. Have a good day.